And that brings us to art, which I can't really summarize very briefly, but I think the best way is if I just say value-oriented. And by that, I mean art should present the world according, and this was Aristotle's idea and Ayn Rand's, as it could be and as it should be. As it could be because we want to always stay with reality. That's the foundation of the whole system. We don't want a fantasy that has nothing to do with reality or that's impossible in reality. But not merely as it could be, as it ought to be. Art is an inspiration. It's a way of giving man fuel to continue to fight the struggle. Life is difficult no matter where you live. And an art which focuses on values, on the good, on giving you an inspiration is called romanticism. So Ayn Rand calls her aesthetics romantic realism, to capture what could be and should be. And in literature, which is the easiest one to talk about, this means novels with heroes with a logical plot, as against the naturalism, which would say, for instance, that there are no plots in real life, so the characters just amble on, and there are no heroes in real life, just the Joe next door. So you have a portrait of the Babbitts of the 20s or the Russian aristocracy of the 1870s, etc. Whereas the romantic approach gives you larger-than-life characters not tied down to one decade or country, which become timeless and universal, like Cyrano de Bergerac, for instance. At the same time, of course, in addition to being opposed to naturalism in art, Ayn Rand was 100% opposed to what's called modern art. You can figure it out easily enough when you think that modern art is called non-objective art. And it's smears and dots and so on, which the artist, mystically feels or subjectively feels represents some other dimension. And of course, that's completely out on philosophic grounds from our point of view. In addition, so far as this modern art portrays a content, it's the message of horror. It's not the ordinary Joe next door, but the depraved, dipsomaniac, homicidal monster next door. And when you get that presented a la James Joyce with these 400-page sentences filled with neologisms, that is where we draw the line, or a lot sooner than that. In music, it means melody as against atonalism. In art, of course, it means in the visual arts, objectivity. And just to give you a clue, my favorite of the visual arts is Michelangelo. That is not mandatory on you or on anyone as an objectivist, but I give you an idea of a view of art, what this kind of